For many people, getting into the air is a scary prospect, and when you're learning to go big, it can sometimes feel inconsistent. Sometimes you nail it, other times you get kicked nose down or sideways and you don't always know why. So this is our guide to building confidence and going big on jumps. Start with practicing your jumping on tabletop jumps. That is a jump with a filled in middle, not like a double that you have to clear to get to the landing. It's much easier psychologically, so you don't have a big gap in the middle, and also you can spend some time building up, jumping further and further without any risk of crashing. Just remember, having said that, that really big tabletops can be just as bad as doubles if you come up short on them. So start off with small to medium sized jumps. Before you hit the jumps, check your suspension. You don't want suspension that's too soft that can bottom out on the takeoff or can get sketchy on the landing. Especially if you've got a full suspension bike, check the rear shock. It's actually a lot safer to have the rebound quite slow. So you see I push the bike down and it takes a second to pop back. That is therefore going to be really predictable on takeoff. If your rear shock is too fast, it can compress, pop back and send you nose down, that horrible feeling. So sometimes I like to run my shock quite slow if all I'm doing is jumping. To slow down the rebound on your shock, turn the rebound knob clockwise. They're normally red on most shocks. Sometimes if you hit jumps at the perfect speed and they've got a mellow takeoff, you can get away without moving very much. But more often than not, that isn't the case. Jumps can have tight transitions in the bottom or steep lips, and if you don't move at all, they can send you into a dangerous flight. When it comes down to movement, generally speaking, you need to do one of two things. Either soak the jump up to minimise the air time and control the takeoff, or use a hop to make height and make length. Soaking up or squashing means letting the bike come up to you so the jump doesn't send you high. Almost imagine there's a low ceiling here, so you need to let the bike come up to you, you take out all the lift, you stay like that in the air and then push the bike down to the floor for the landing. Really nice and smooth, and you just don't get that height. When it comes to actually making height on jumps, it's all about the takeoff and breaking down that good bunny hop technique I always talk about into its separate parts. You need a really big pump in this transition from flat to up. On a full suspension bike, that's going to what we call preload the bike into the face, but even on a hardtail, that's going to give you a pop when you take off. So you've done your pump, and then you're in that manual position. You're not actually manualing, you're just driving the front wheel up into the air, heels down, pushing the bike up, and as your rear wheel takes off on top of that lip, that's when you stand up and bring in that third part of the bunny hop. This is a big jump, so it's kind of obvious where you do those three different parts. On a smaller jump, it's the same technique, it'll just all happen much quicker. With this big takeoff, I do a pump, I then pause for a second, and then do the hop. On a smaller jump, it happens much faster. Go slow and go high. When you've got that hop and the timing dialed, probably the best thing for building confidence on jumps is learning to go really high, slow it down, give yourself less of a run up and still clear that jump. It's great for confidence knowing that I can go from here, roll in and probably clear that gap. When you're starting to feel really good on jumps, it can be a lot of fun to start moving the bike around in the air, start doing whips a little bit. To begin with, don't worry so much about carving up the takeoff. Just get a feel for moving the bike around by pushing your feet away from you and twisting the bars a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Also, don't forget to build up gradually. Don't go into a massive jump straight away. Just build up the sizes gradually. Whilst you're here, you should check out some more videos from GMBN. If you click up there, that'll take you through to the full jumping how-to playlist, and click down there for how to set up your suspension. Click on the GMBN logo to subscribe, totally free. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video.